Facilities that make this program possible are provided by the City of Highland Park. Programs are produced independently by members of the community. The City of Highland Park is not affiliated with the following program or the producers of public access programming and is not responsible for the content. The following program does not reflect the opinions of the City of Highland Park.
Hi, I'm Pam Chill, and welcome to another edition of Chill Out. I'm one of the Highland Park Senior TV producers, and my program today is Love the Creative Journey with my special guest, which I'm honored to have, Lynda Hope Drescher. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. This is amazing.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I waited a long time, and I'm so excited. I understand that you just wrote a new book.
Well, I actually did, and this was a 40-year process.
Oh my gosh, 40
I wrote
years.
this, I created this back in my 20s, even before that really, and it was all about being creative, and I'm so excited to share this with you now.
Oh, I would absolutely love it.
Yay,
okay, and
thank
the
you.
book is called, your pen name is Lynda Hope.
Yes, it is.
And it's called Jackie and Creativity Go to School.
Yes.
So if you can share with us and read a little bit, I'd be so happy.
Beautiful.
I think we'd be excited.
Well, that's,
Okay.
it's the publisher's Balboa Press, and it is starting with Jackie, knowing he's going to first grade. He's taking an imaginary trip to first grade.
Oh, wow.
He's starting, oh my goodness, he's starting off with his imaginary camel. We can show the camel.
And this is so perfect because school is starting.
It is.
Yes. So I'm going to show a little bit of this.
So I'm going to read a little bit.
Yes,
and actually,
please do.
this is my real house right now. So I'm taking a little bit of my own reality now. I'm off to school, Mom, says Jackie. Don't forget your lunch. I filled it with your favorites. As usual, Mom doesn't see creativity. Thanks, Mom, you're the best. Together, Jackie and creativity take an imaginary trip to school. Yep.
All righty.
Yeah. And that's even my Sheltie dog at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The whole family is in here.
Yeah.
Yes. And I love the illustrations.
Thank you. And then, so this is, they find their classroom, choose desks side by side, and Jackie pulls out paper and begins to draw. And of course, creativity says, beautiful, wonderful, fantastic. And the imaginary camel sitting outside, looking in.
Okay.
You must be Jackie. I'm your teacher, Mr. Morgan. Welcome to our class. He can't see creativity. Thank you. We're so happy to be here. We, ponders Mr. Morgan. And creativity's just sort of hanging out, going, oh, okay, we're good. And Jackie, each morning we do our bell work and read our books. We don't draw unless it's time for art. That's a classroom rule. Of course, look at poor Jackie. Jackie stops smiling and puts his notebook away, and creativity just shakes its head, and poor camel's all outside in the rain. Not a happy moment. Class time for math. Show me all you know about addition. And then wait, then creativity says, don't worry, adds creativity. I'm good at math too. So really, it's about, what are we talking about so far? We're talking about the idea of creativity, creative living. Creativity is innate in all of us, and Jackie knows that. And going to first grade, it's a little bit scary, and there are rules and there are regulations, and we don't do drawing during times, but creativity is saying to us, I'm also good at math. Creativity is not just about drawing and about being talented in any particular way. It's about having the talent to live creatively, is what we're talking about.
Right.
And so as it continues, it talks about the rules, but then it talks about how we can be more creative and how our emotions help us do that by being happy, by being in the moment. So when we turn to that other page here, where it's all about rules, rules, rules.
I've got rules right here.
Yeah. It says, rules, 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 whines. Try saying that 10 times fast. Rules, 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 whines Jackie as they walk home that day. They follow every rule. They walk no climbing, no swimming, no smelling, and stop. Rules, 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 creativity repeats. So as we turn the page, we see the real essence and what the conflict is when it comes to that. Rules make me so sad, moans Jackie. It's okay to feel sad, reassures creativity. Here's gloom and despair, which appear in the bush. Oh, there's anxiety biting its nails again, creativity observes. I'll never fit in. There's too many rules, sighs Jackie. So here we're talking about, here's creativity and Jackie. Creativity's positive, right? But then when Jackie doubts himself, then gloom and despair appear. And then when he's really down on himself, anxiety comes, right? So those are the characters in us that bring our level of creativity way down. And then, and then there's some more. We're going to get to the best part.
The best part, yes.
Got to get to the best part.
This is so exciting.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
And then it says, I hate school. I'm afraid I'll never fit in. Hate and fear, hear their names being called. So you see fear right here, and you see hate up here. And then creativity yells for his friend. Courage, we really need you. Hurry. So courage magically appears, inspiring creativity to grow even brighter. So we're really adding now the real essence of what courage is about. Courage helps creativity, right? Helps creativity thrive. Because without courage, we really don't have the strength to really put ourselves out there in life, right? Mm-hmm. So then, here, there's we get to the ending where it really has a strong message to bring home to parents.
One more.
Yeah. And that is, well, we have, let me just do this one page here, because we want to introduce our happy guys. So suddenly happy and joy float into the scene. Fear's shadow disappears along with anxiety, hate, gloom, and despair. I'm so happy to see you, Courage yells. Courage, yells Jackie. So happy is here and joy is here with the rainbow and the bubbles. And then he says, there you are, cool, let's jump, Joy. So Jackie's really enjoying himself now. He's really happy that now he's not afraid, his fear is gone. And then, just then, hope appears. I feel so much better. Maybe I can love school after all, shouts Jackie. I love you guys, hollers Jackie as they all race home. So now Jackie is even transformed. You see his outfit's all different colors, and even this little guy down there is all different colors. So now hope leads the way. Hope leads the way to understand the creative energy inside of him is real and authentic and should be really enjoyed. And that's what we want to give the message to for parents to say, you know what, your kids are innately creative, and it's time for them to really own that, and for parents to own it, because
Absolutely.
Parents need to wake theirs up.
Uh-huh. Do you think we're having enough creativity in schools?
Well, no. I mean, I'm sure maybe some schools do that. They have a curriculum full of ways of thinking outside the box, but the more we foster that and bring really attention to it, it's very crucial, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't you have a song that you
I
wanted to sing?
did. Thank
Words
you.
and
Okay,
lyrics by
yes.
Lynda Hope.
Thank
It's
you.
called Imagination. It goes right into creativity.
And this was on my Creatively Creative Story About Creativity series where this came from.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Imagination you'll find deep inside your mind. Let it fly so it can touch the sky. Then you'll see just how perfect life can be. Imagination is real. You'll begin to feel life is just a fantasy away, and you will find that your mind has set you free. Set you free.
Thank you so much. Thank
That was
you,
my creativity.
Lynda Hope, and thank you, your daughter. And this is Jody Caston, who was our creativity
Yes.
illustrator as well.
Well,
Yes.
Jackie, creativity has been with me forever, and I'm very blessed. My mother was an artist.
Oh, that's where it all came from.
And my children are artists, and so illustration, I had my illustration degree in California, and so in my 20s, and been singing all my life. So they've also been inspired by their creative desires, and they're really able to express themselves in so many beautiful ways. And that's why I wrote this, to inspire others.
Oh, excellent, excellent. And you are.
Oh.
So tell me a little bit about your creativity as your career path took.
Yes. You know, I think creativity is really what our inner being wants to be. You know, when we look at children playing and in the playground and being in, you know, with other children, and you see how delightful and energized they are, this is what our inner being wants to be all the time. And when we deny ourselves that opportunity, that's when we feel real emotion. That's when we get sad. That's when we feel like, wow, I just don't feel up to doing anything, right? So when we go with our desire to just be in the moment, it's really about focus. It's about centering. It's about knowing that miracles happen, and for us to be receptive, in the receiving mode of receiving that. So I believe that because I'm a cantor now in my career, I've always had a very strong God connection.
And you're a cantor locally.
Yes, I'm at Har Shalom in
Yes.
Highland Park.
Which is very lovely. I've
Thank
been
you.
there, yes.
And so I think that because of the creative desire for me to, knowing that God has given me gifts to share, I believe that it's all about knowing that that creative energy that flows is something inspired, godly inspired. And again, if we can live life in a creative way, if we can look at alternatives, if we can follow our impulses, if we can look for the beauty of the world and be as positive as we can, then things positively flow into us, right? But when we're
Positive
negative,
energy.
yes, energy. It's all about energy.
It's all about positive energy, and then
Right.
the feedback is positive energy. Right.
And we're all vibrational. We all are. You know, that's everything vibrates at different frequencies, right? So when we say, "Oh, you're bringing me down," well, yeah, I mean that is lower vibration. We are bringing ourselves down when we are focused in on negativity. We can feel our energy level, right? We don't want to get out of bed, you know, especially with people who are depressed. And so I created those characters that you see on the down there on the floor. I think that you have to show.
Let me do this over here.
Yeah. So as I developed these characters, the first one,
Tell me
again,
about the-
you know,
yes,
strong
the first
character
one, if you could
of
focus in
hate.
on this one.
Hate is the most low vibrational being you can have. If you hate others, first of all, you're not in a very godly place when you do that, first of all. And second of all, it's a terrible place of confrontation, and it feels bad in our energy. So that will destroy our creative impulses right away. Yeah. And then we get to even a very sad, you know, gloom and despair kind of feeling of, whoa, I don't want to get out of bed. This is really... And when I developed these characters back in the end of the 1970s, it was based on a book called Courage to Create by Rollo May. And he wrote about all the different personalities that hinder in creativity and all those that inspire. And one of the other characters I thought was really detrimental to ourselves is bigotry, very narrow-minded, you know, very bigoted. It's not a good trait at all. So that's another. And I made him colorful, though, too. I didn't want to scare anybody. And then jealousy. Ooh, jealousy. You know, that's not good either. But
No,
they're in us.
probably a good one in school, though. They're you know, as they get older, there is a lot of jealousy.
Jealousy, right.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, wow, you painted that, or wow,
Right.
you wrote that, wow. And then to be an inspiration for others means to be an example, putting out, being a good, you know, be the change you want to see in the world.
Last but not least.
So here we've got all the good guys, right? We have Hope, we have Modesty, who has a little bugle but doesn't blow it. That's funny. Here's Joy again, and Honesty is transparent, leading the way. Here's Happy, and here's Courage. And they're all in the flow of, let's create a better world. Let's just flow the creative juices, and let's think positive, and really embrace what our inner being wants to be, is happy and joyous. And so it's contagious.
Yes, and it's for parents as well as children.
Absolutely, because
Right.
if parents don't really realize the importance of having the children express themselves without, you know, putting the watering it down, or, you know, sometimes you'll say, oh, stop doing that, let's do this instead. How about having the children be inspiring the parents and say, Mom, I want to do this today. Okay, let's do that. How about we take a ride and go down to the water, and yeah, let's do that. Instead of saying, no, we can't do that, we got to shop or whatever. Let them express where they want to be, what their inner being wants to do for the day. And go with that and enjoy it and enjoy them and see their greater being at work. That's how we inspire others, is to see how God sees us, you know, with the richness and fullness and the powerful beings that we are, and wanting to do good in the world and really embracing that in their child, really bringing that out. And I think this book will help maybe start that process.
Giving back, you know, to other and less fortunate, and doing little acts of kindness,
Yes.
doing an act every day of kindness, and doing that.
Smiling at
Smiling,
somebody. Open
right.
the door for people. Show you care about them. And really see into them, into their soul, and
Right,
say,
and it
"You're
is
special."
possible in a big city. I mean, in a
Yes.
larger environment too, it is possible. You don't need a very small town, you know, where everyone knows each other, to be friendly and to be
Yeah.
kind
Yes.
and considerate, and just do little, like you say, acts of kindness.
And creativity,
And creativity.
will be around town. In fact, we're going to have creativity appearing at the Art Institute.
Oh,
and we're going to say,
okay.
creativity has been seen at the Art Institute. Where's your creativity? You know, it'll be fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, tell a little bit about your background. You just
Yes.
touched on it a little bit, Linda. Yes.
Well, when I was younger, I was always drawing and painting, and my mother was an artist, and we used to paint together. We used to go places, and then I was singing. My grandmother was very active in her sisterhood at Temple Beth Israel.
Okay, you grew up in Chicagoland area. Okay.
I did,
Uh-huh.
and even when I was in my high school years, she wanted me to sing for her sisterhood, so I did. And I think
And you have
back,
such
and that
a
was
lovely voice. What
Oh,
kind of
thank
vocal
you.
training have you had?
Well, I had vocal training through high school. I studied in California. I studied with one of the top singing coaches who taught Melba Moore and Earth, Wind, and Fire back when I was going out to art school of design in California
It
there.
shows.
Yeah, and then I continued singing nightclubs for 30 years in the Chicago
nightclubs.
area.
Okay. Where have you performed in the
Oh,
past?
every hotel, major hotel in the city. Drake
Opening
Hotel,
acts
Continental
for
Plaza.
different people, or?
Well, I did that. I was also in Vegas a little bit. I sang in Israel. I've been in concerts all over. And then I got into writing my music. So I'm very excited about it's world music with sitar and guitar and classic. It's sort of a combination of Jewish freilich, but it also has the Indian melody. I'm also a meditation instructor,
Oh,
so I
okay.
use chanting to. Part of the practice is to calm the mind and focus awareness in this moment, because that's where creativity lies, in this focused attention. And that way, music helps that, especially very vibrational, right? Music is very vibrational.
Oh, yes, yes.
So-
and it can really lift your spirits or take you
That's
out
right.
of this place that you're in. Or
That's right. And when I
Yes.
studied, I was the only Jewish chaplain resident at Condell Medical Center 2 years
From Cantor
ago.
to chaplain? That's
Well,
interesting.
actually, Cantor's...
But you are as a chaplain, as a cantor.
Well, in order to be a chaplain, you have to have a clergy certification or ordination. So I was already a cantor, and I wanted to go help those in the hospital. So I started at Condell Medical as the year-long residency, so I was on call over the night. You know, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I would go into the emergency room, be with families, and then I was blessed to be able to sit and pray with them and sing to them and be with families who needed counseling. And so I've also gone privately into people's homes and sung songs to them to lift their spirits. And I've been in senior centers and so on. And my 91-year-old father at Brookdale, I do Shabbat services there once a month as well.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
great.
He must be happy to see you.
He is so sweet. Oh my goodness, I'm
He
blessed
must
to
be very
have him.
proud.
Yeah, he
Yes,
is.
yes. But you do have a lovely, lovely voice,
thank
and
you.
you know, and you write your own music, which that's a talent in itself.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, and you play guitar as
Play
well.
guitar. Yep.
So tell me about when you were in like Vegas. What made the transition? The actual transition.
Well,
to
that's a good
becoming
story.
cantor?
Thank you. That's a great story. I was at my congregation, and the soloist there, cantor, said, "Come to Havana Shira." And Havana Shira is a place that Debbie Friedman put together up at Olin Zang Ruby Institute. And she was the song leader, and over 100 people from all over the world came, from Australia, from all over. And we prayed and sang from Wednesday to Sunday. And my first experience there was so moving. I was listening to Craig Tallman. You know, if you were in the Jewish musical community, you know these names. Debbie Friedman started the folk music that is now sung in every Reformed congregation. The Misha Beirach is one of hers. She's hundreds and hundreds of songs. But people would come there, sing, lead songs. She would advise them what's the best way to teach the song so that song leaders could teach to the kids. And when I came back on that Sunday after singing nonstop, my girls looked at me and said, "Mom, what are you on? You are just so high. You are vibrating." And I just said, you know what? I just have to stop everything that I'm doing. I have to go back. I have to learn Hebrew. And
it was like an epiphany.
It was. It was. I have to learn Jewish music and read from Torah. That's all I wanted to do. Yeah. So I went back to school. This was, my girls were young, and
And how long did this process take?
10 years.
It's a long time.
10 years.
Yes.
Because I had to learn Hebrew. I had to get ready to be taught to get into the program, which was a long process. Then you're in the program, and that's another 7 years. So.
And is this something you did locally?
Well, actually, it was through American Conference of Cantors. Actually, a year after I wanted to make this transition, I was already hired at B'nai Torah congregation in Highland Park.
I remember it well.
And and so I started, and then I went into the school. So it was a very quick transition in. And then I finished, but I was still at B'nai Torah through the whole process. And I was before that actually in the trade show business. So I had dropped producing trade shows, and
that's another aspect of your career.
I was marketing and trade show professional and created shows. I actually created the Parents and Kids World Expo at Arlington Racecourse.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that. I think it's still ongoing.
No, I stopped it.
You stopped it, and that was the end of that.
I started that in 1997. And that I had Nickelodeon on. I had major sponsors like Toyota. I had when the radio I think it was Animal Planet was just coming to this area through Media One, and Media One wanted to promote Animal Planet. Animal Planet came on my show, onto my trade show. We had about 400 exhibitors. We had everybody from everywhere. It was crazy. And we had about 20,000 people come through the door. We had nonstop entertainment on the main stage and animal rides and all kinds of things.
Oh, sure.
It was crazy. Yeah, we had so many wonderful vendors. And it was on for about 4 years until this happened. And I went, no, that's it. I'm done with that.
And when do you have time to do all this and do all this writing and your work as a cantor and
I had to
counseling people as well?
Right. Well, this took a while. It took a year to illustrate this book. Because as much as I had already created a 25-page script, I wanted it to be an animated film. Back when I actually on my website, it has my video, or my actual video of my first production of it. That was actually found on YouTube also. And it showed me as a 20-some-year-old girl being interviewed on Channel 5 with my characters and singing my music. And I had a production team, and I went to California, I went to New York, and it wasn't time. It wasn't ready. I talked with major people.
You were before the time to do this. I think that was it.
I think so, right. And I think it's just as important today because creativity back then, if you remember correctly, there were a lot of signs that said creative financing, creative this, creative that, right? So there was a buzz around that word. But I think that it still hasn't changed the way we view creativity. It's more of a creative living now. We're looking at expansion of who we really are. So, yeah. That's what we want to say.
So are you ready to do another segment of it?
Oh, yes. This is just the first.
Okay. That's
first
what I was...
in the series.
Yes, first in the series.
Yeah.
So you're working on...
On the second book.
Yes.
And on the animated film. And, we first have to...
You have to work on number
first
one.
First have to get this out and have everybody love it and buy it.
And how does someone go into the process of getting an animated film?
Well, I have a producer in California who's interested in taking this project on. And I know that he also wants to help me with other things as well. So
wonderful.
We will see what creativity has in store.
Creativity is unlimited. Out there, and it's waiting for you.
Yes.
And There's so many different aspects they do with animation now. You know,
Oh,
they have
yes.
voices to it, and they have
Yes.
total animation, and then there's like a 3D animation.
So much
And
more broad than it was when I first. I couldn't have gotten a book
I mean,
published
I
back
marvel
then.
at some of these, and you know, adults like them and enjoy them as well as children.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And it is about exploring and having fun and awakening the child within. And when you're having a fun time, that's what it's about. You know, follow your emotion, be in tune with your feelings, because that's where, you know, creativity is brought to life in that happiness and joy of that moment. So that's really key to finding our creativity, is how joyful and happy are we in the moment, right?
We can always be happier.
Oh, yes. It's, you know, happiness is a choice.
What is your secret to being so happy? I mean, you're so
a choice.
creative. Do you wake up every morning and go,
No. No, it takes me at least till my first cup of coffee.
because with me, it's I put on my makeup and, you know, I do the hair
Yes.
and then I do the coffee and it's like, it's a transformation.
It is.
It's like, now I'm happy.
It's right.
Yes.
Right. It doesn't just turn on when you wake up in the morning.
No. You need that period of about 45 minutes just to get yourself together.
Yes.
But
Yes. And as I said, it's, you know, I have a regiment. I meditate in the morning. I get focused. I work on my joy. I raise my energy level. I eat well. You know, I eat a very simple, you know, very whole food type diet, which feeds my energy. And I think mindful living is key. Creativity comes from being mindful and being deliberate and intentional, just like prayer. When we talk about prayer and meditation,
Right.
everything comes from intention.
intention. And do you designate a certain period of time for prayer and a certain period of time for being creative and writing? I mean, do you sit there? Because some people, they say writers, you know, they sit there and it's like, this is the time I have to write. And I don't just write when I also write when I have the thought process coming.
And that's a great point, because when I was illustrating, I had to be creative in that moment. If I wasn't feeling creative, I wouldn't put a pen to it. I wouldn't even start. If I was feeling energized and ready, then I was going to do it. So I had to first bring that attention and focus.
Okay. Well, for now, we
Yes.
are going to, I'm so excited, we are going to end
Okay.
with
Yay.
One Heart,
Yes.
which is
It's on my
also-
One Heart CD.
One Heart CD, which is also written, music and lyrics by Lynda Hope. And
Yeah.
we're going to have your daughter
And my
join
daughter's
us.
going to join
Cheryl
me.
Haskin
Who
is going
decorated,
to
did the face painting on
drums
creativity.
and face painting.
And my creativity is going to join us
And
too.
creativity, Miss Creativity is also going to come on. And we're going to end.
And we're around
We're going to bring it
Chicago.
on home, as they say.